What's up, people? It's your boy Max, WrestleManiac, if you will, back again with another podcast. Hope you're all well. It is New Year's Eve. We are hours away from 2025.
Yeah.
And as some people would be in the party, in the club, or in the church, or whatever, we're giving you the last review of Monday Night Raw before it goes over to Netflix. And of course, I'm not alone. I'm with my brother Anafi, Wrestling's Business.
Yeah.
Anafi, what are you saying, bro?
But I'm good, man. It's been a while since I've done a live stream with you, man. Bro, we go I think was it this year we stopped doing the E?
Yeah. Earlier this year,
man. Yeah. So it's nice to end the year off with another, let's say, podcast or review with you, bro. So let's get into it, man.
Yeah, man. It's and it's been a year. It has been a bloody year, and obviously the peak of it, WrestleMania. We were there together, Philadelphia, experienced what might be the greatest ending to WrestleMania, one of the best matches of the year for sure, from a spectacle point of view. And we're going to talk about it probably a bit later, but we're now kind of leaving this era of WWE Raw on the traditional TV shows, TV networks, and it's going over to the juggernaut that is Netflix. What's your immediate thoughts about this thing that we've known is coming for some time now, but it's like it's right on our doorstep now?
Yeah. So already my immediate thoughts were like, I was actually upset. So yesterday when I found out that tomorrow's the final day, at night, I literally crammed as much WWE Network in my head as possible. I watched the best of JBL, watched all the JBL's matches, but then on a second thought, like I went online today and I saw that WWE are now Netflix are now uploading playlists and stuff that's going to be on the network anyway. And I'm like, okay, cool. We're not really losing much. The only point we're probably losing is WCW content and like other territory content, like the stuff. I think they used to have NWA on there, WCCW, all that sort of stuff. So I'm sure stuff like that they'll probably upload on a Vault anyway. But on a positive note, I am gassed. Like it feels like a big deal. The way that Joe I forgot his name, the commentator. Bro, he kept every minute he had a chance to announce that we're going on Netflix next week. We're going on Netflix. He gave it to them like a punch, bro. Yeah, man, it's gonna be sick, man. It's gonna be proper sick. I wish that Netflix kind of tapped in with a few influencers or people within the wrestling industry just to get steamrolling a bit. Do you get what I mean? Like, for example, if Bridgerton was coming out, they'll collaborate with a guy that does that reviews, that sort of drama content or sort of stuff. So I wish they'd done the same with wrestling, but yeah, maybe sometime in the future.
It just depends how I guess Netflix and the WWE want this to be perceived, because Netflix, as we already know, are doing like a massive drive towards their live sports content. So if they want this to come across as a legitimate sport, then maybe they don't want to have all the kind of influencer stuff around it per se. They're already linking a lot of the musicians and artists and stuff, and with it being in LA, it's already getting that kind of Hollywood treatment. Big deal on the first night. So look, I guess we just have to kind of wait and see presentation wise, but I mean the card is looking like a pay-per-view.
That's a WrestleMania card.
Yeah, it's looking mental. It's absolutely looking mental. So obviously we'll get into some of the stuff that's going to be on the card, some of the stuff that's going to be happening on the show, and this last episode of Monday Night Raw. Let's start with, I guess, the big angle that closed the show, the main event. CM Punk and Seth Rollins, they were going toe-to-toe in the ring. War of words, should I say, more than anything. It's the final showdown, I guess, before they have this, what has been coined a dream match for the pair of them from the minute CM Punk returned to the company. Seth Rollins was in the ring first. CM Punk later on came in. They traded some insults back and forth with each other. And Rollins was making a point about, Punk leaving and then coming back and taking the credit for it, and, coming back for a check and all the kind of usual bits that they've been saying. Punk talked about how he's a pioneer and that you wouldn't, say that Stone Cold took his ball and ran away and all of that kind of stuff. CM Punk, Seth Rollins mentioned AEW in this, not by name, but mentioned that, you went to the other place and messed it up, and how did that work for you and stuff like that. And then CM Punk indirectly mentioned Vince McMahon, saying that he always liked being here, but it was the person that was running the place that he didn't like, which was, I think, a fair comment, and an interesting one for him to make. He talked about having all of these arrows in his back from all his adversaries, and Punk is going to take out these arrows and stick them down Rollins' throat. Not literally, but that's what he's on next week. And yeah, we had this kind of big stare down between the two of them to close the show. That was just me running through it. These guys are spitting fire for, you know, Punk. That's always heralded as this amazing promo and stuff like that. I felt like Seth Rollins really brought it as well. Like, I thought it was a really good exchange by both of them, where in the past few weeks, I've always felt like one person was better than the other, whether it was a backstage interview or talking to a Titron, or the other person wasn't there and they're just calling them out. It was like, this week Rollins wins, this week Punk wins. But this week, like, I thought both of them were really, really good. What do you think of this promo, and looking forward to the match next week?
I thought it was sick, man. I love when wrestlers go personal and they're flagging stuff that we know about. For example, he brought up Becky Lynch, he brought up AJ Lee, he brought up him not having a child. And I can't lie, that one probably hits deep, because we don't know the reason why Punk hasn't got a child yet.
Yeah.
So it's just bare stuff that was just been thrown across, and it's like, that's the type of stuff you want to see before the actual match. Like, you can see that WWE are gonna carefully thread through that whole promo. Yeah, sound bites for the vignette, sound bites for this, sound bites for that. Even Instagram captions, bow, they have it there. Do you get what I mean? So it's made me gash for the match. I just hope that obviously when they do go into the match, the match fully delivers. I think this is gonna be Punk's third match, if I'm correct.
Third from when, you mean?
From when he returned?
No, well, he's had 3 against Drew. He had 3 against Drew, and then he had the
fourth match then.
Yeah, the Survivor Series match. So this is his fifth match.
Fifth match.
And yeah,
I hope it delivers. I'm expecting it to be a blood match. Like, I want to see someone get bust open, bro. Seth, I don't think I've seen Seth being bust open in WWE yet.
You think they're gonna do that on the debut of Netflix?
They need to, bro. They need to show that we're here, bro. They need to show that we're here. Go all John Moxley 2019. Go all John Moxley, bro. But yeah, jokes aside, I thought that was a great promo. I enjoyed it. I think this is the level of feuds or promos we're going to be getting now on, until, you know, someone put out a tweet. I think it was Backup Hangman Page, and he was like, WWE have become a promo company now. And someone quote tweeted and goes, WWE became that promo company from when Vince left, and when Drew McIntyre and Kevin Owens dropped a promo calling themselves wrestlers, and it was a proper long promo. I think it was on SmackDown or Raw, and that was like the beginning of it. So yeah, man, it's just nice to see the direction they're going in. Hoping to see more, and hope the match delivers, man.
Yeah, they're really weaving together good stories, and even as we're here counting, this is Punk's 5th match. You know, will be his 5th match on the 6th of January. Like, he's been in the company since November last year, right? Okay, maybe this will be his 6th match if you want to include the Royal Rumble that he got injured in. But look kind of how much he's done and how good he's been, and he's only wrestled 5 matches so far.
Crazy.
Like, it literally shows you that wrestling, like, in ring, it's just a bonus. It's just like the cherry on the cake. Like, really and truly, you can tell great stories and, you know, capture the crowd and everything without getting in the ring, or getting in the ring minimally, like Punk has been doing. Obviously, some of that is down to injury. He probably would have been in the ring a lot more often than the 6, but this is big business. Seth Rollins, ever the guy to be, you know, the number one guy when the top person comes in. Give him to Seth. Like, because
Cody got the Seth treatment. Punk's been getting the Seth treatment here and there, but we're now fully in it now. So yeah, you're right. Give it to Seth.
Yeah, give it to Seth, man. He's underrated, undervalued. I'm looking forward to this. Do you expect it to be one and done? Just the Netflix debut and done?
I want this to be the beef for life. Do you know there's different type of feuds where it's like we're beefing each other for life now. So like for example, Hangman and Swerve Strickland. Another one is Triple H and The Rock. Maybe we can even add in, I don't know if they even patched up, but maybe Ric Flair and Dusty Rhodes. It needs to be a beef for life thing where it's like, cool. They may see if this beef, if the match is done here, somewhere down the line they see each other, it's gonna kick up again. You see it, so it needs to be like, yeah, those are they're each other's ops. So according to the streets, yeah, man. Yeah, it needs to be beef for life, man. Honestly, I don't think it should be done.
I think we're looking at like a Punk versus Rollins here, Netflix debut. Maybe we get a Punk Rollins match at Elimination Chamber or something as well, and then we have the WrestleMania match. Like that's the third one, and I expect if we're getting a WrestleMania match and it's a main event, I slightly expect the world title to be involved.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure how we're going to get it off Gunther, but I genuinely don't see Gunther walking into WrestleMania as the world champion.
No. I think he's going to probably lose it.
Yeah,
probably lose it.
We'll see where he loses it along the way. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think they've done a good job on this. It feels like it's kind of been short notice from Survivor Series to now to sell this match and get it there. But we've known the animosity has been there from the minute Punk returned to the company. So yeah, they've had stuff to work with, and I'm sure they're going to develop some more stuff along the way. Even the mention of Becky Lynch. We expect Becky Lynch to be back because Becky Lynch has been pictured in a lot of the Netflix promotion stuff. Do you think Becky Lynch returning could be a catalyst to bring AJ Lee back to the WWE?
It's the thing. I don't want to have to do this intergender husband versus wife type match, but if it does work out and she comes back because of that, then I know Becky Lynch will deliver. If I'm honest, I'm not quite fond of AJ Lee's work because I stopped watching wrestling then. But it will be nice to see Becky Lynch come back, even if it's a thing where she comes back and she's like trying to stop the beef, and after somehow she gets hit, then Seth Rollins takes up another level, and that's when we have the second match or something like that. Then AJ Lee gets involved and whatnot. But yeah, talk me about AJ Lee. Like, what's like? Because obviously, a lot of people hail her up high. So what's like?
Yeah, I think AJ Lee. I do rate her. Like from okay, I think what we have to do is put things in perspective of when she was reigning. So she was obviously
Divas era,
right? Yeah. Strong Divas era, one of the best in ring Divas era. She's probably still a very, very good wrestler, but obviously the caliber of wrestlers has gone up since then, especially women's wrestling. So I wouldn't say she's top when we're talking about women's wrestling today, but for her time, she was head and shoulders above a lot. Good promo as well, so could sell a story and stuff like that. Was often included just because I think they recognized she was above some of the women they had at the time. Was often included in a lot of the men's programs, not as a wrestler, but just as a valet and just as an extra
was that with
piece of the puzzle.
Dolph Ziggler and Big E. I remember there's
all of that kind of stuff. John Cena feuds and stuff. She often found herself integral to those stories because she was above what was happening in the women's division, and she wasn't the prototype diva. You know, she didn't look like them. How Paige almost looked different from them as well. So yeah, she was very special for her time. I think what we can expect if she comes back, and to be honest, I think maybe they could have done this with Drew and Drew's missus, but Drew's missus isn't in the business per se.
Yeah, she's not.
Like you just mentioned, if you had Becky coming back and kind of getting on to Seth, like, you need to calm down. This is an obsession with this guy. Like, you know, and then that can play out however it wants to between the two of them. But yeah, I think there could be some interesting roles, because even then we need to start finding some different roles for Becky Lynch to play, as opposed to just coming back and winning titles. Like, she's above that at this point. So yeah.
But don't you think that if she does come back and she does, on a second thought, she comes back and she does the whole like you lose yourself, is that not nice? Not because Thing's wife didn't really get involved like that, did she? It was mainly the wrestlers that were getting involved like that. So when Drew was like obsessed with CM Punk to the point where it became his poison. No, who was telling? Was anyone telling him that he needs to chill?
No, but he brought his wife into story, but it's not nothing we saw on TV.
Yeah,
but he would
it was on
tell
the internet.
us, he would tell us that, my family know I'm obsessed. My family aren't happy with this obsession. My blah blah blah. He would tell us that kind of stuff. But yeah, it wasn't that. It was his wife never cut a promo about it or anything like that. But yeah, it's I think this what we got with Punk and Rollins it's been a long time coming. So come Monday, 6th of January on Netflix, as they've been telling us, I think it's going to be a really good match. Question: does this open the show or main event it for you? Being that we're going to have a tribal combat match on this show as well.
If I'm honest, this is the biggest match WWE have done in a while. Obviously, bar WrestleMania 40. So I think this is your main event. The Solo and Roman match, the Solo and Roman match doesn't really really true. That should be on SmackDown. What? It's on Raw.
I think it's definitely a you're right. It should be on SmackDown rather than Raw. My only thing is cold. That match is cold. I feel like people have forgotten about it. The promo that's Roman delivered, requesting the match was almost 2 weeks ago now, and then Roman hasn't been on TV since, unless he's going to be on SmackDown this Friday to sell it a bit more. My only reason as to why this will main event is if The Rock comes back. If Roman beats Solo, which I'm expecting to happen, and then Roman is about to put the Ula Fala over his neck, and then you hear my man's music, The Rock's music goes off. If you smell, that's the only thing that would make this a main event. Because right now, like you're saying, Punk and Rollins should be the main event, but yeah, The Rock has to be the catalyst to end the show.
I think The Rock should not come back until WrestleMania 31. Once she had the WrestleMania 31, Royal Rumble.
Royal Rumble, number 31.
And it comes in the 31st. So
when did I say that? That must have been like months ago. I said that.
This was like 3 months ago. Yeah, 3 months. Yeah. August. Yeah. You're pretty much your last. It was that podcast you came randomly.
Oh, was it there? Oh, I thought I said it even before that.
I would have to check. Let me check. I have to check.
I'll have to find.
Let's have that clip there just in case. You have to pull it out just in case, man.
No, I genuinely think like him entering at 31 would be incredible.
Epic.
But I think even still he can appear on TV and stuff before that. Like he is going to be on this Raw on the 6th of Jan. Like, so I think he could appear before that, but just don't talk about the Royal Rumble. And then when number 30 comes out, everyone is just saying, "Oh yeah, that's the last person," blah blah blah. And then all of a sudden the clock starts ticking down and the commentators can sell it like, huh? Like number 30's already come in. Like, what's going on?
I don't know if you've said this before, but they should even have the all rights reserved, even written and directed by Paul Levesque and what's that guy called again? Lee Fitting. He's fitting it. He's fitting the. Do you get what I mean? So it should all come out. Then bow, just here,
No, 100%. He has to come out.
Do WWE have to stick to a time now they're on Netflix?
I mean, they've said it's going to go to 3 hours. They said Raw and SmackDown is both 3 hours. So,
and that's
that's it. I suppose so.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool.
So that's Punk and Rollins and where that's going to go. Who do you think is going to win that match? Lastly,
I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna. Is it a singles match? There's no
shenanigans.
Wow, I don't know. I'm actually lost. I can't put a finger on it because I don't know. I don't know who I want to win, and I don't know who's going to win. But I think Seth should win this time.
I think Seth's gonna win. It's only because if this goes on, it's like, okay, who gets the next win or who gets the belt and to make it go to WrestleMania, whatever it's going to be. But I do think Rollins is going to pick up the win on Monday.
Unless there's a DQ.
I think that would be disappointing for how they've built this up.
What is a DQ like? I was talking about how I was watching JBO yesterday. So the match, that first match with JBO and Eddie Guerrero at Judgment Day, and I think there was a DQ. Even though both of them were they both on Busted Open? There's a DQ.
Yeah, I know what I'm talking about.
There was one match that had a DQ.
Yeah.
So what if it was like that?
I mean, I can see a DQ happening in this match if Drew McIntyre gets involved. If Drew McIntyre runs through, takes out CM Punk, but I guess that's not a DQ, and then Rollins just gets a sneaky win, something like
Well,
that.
what
Like
if Rollins has been pushed to the limit to use a weapon? Like he's like CM Punk's like, is that all you got? Is that all you got? And he gets, ow, just straight, and the referee clocks it. But I don't know. That's me just booking, isn't it?
Possibly, you never know. But yeah, I think I'm with you that Rollins gets the first win either way. I think we'll get a decisive winner on this, and then we'll go forth. So yeah, that was like the main event segment. One of the big matches on this debut. We'll run through the rest of the card and what happened on Monday Night Raw more briefly. Guys, hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel as well if you're new here. Subscribe to Rest Things as well. Let's get into this Monday Night Raw review. The show opened up with New Day and Jey Uso. It was meant to be a Jey Uso segment, but New Day came out and basically hijacked it, talking about, still trying to get their points across, the crowd booing them as ever. Jey Uso came out, all the love from the crowd. Jey Uso, they asked him to basically, tell the crowd, us, let us speak and kind of get our point across. Jey Uso ended his spiel with New Day sucks, not taking their side, taking the side of the crowd. These guys left the ring still being booed out the place. Jey Uso went on to talk about obviously the situation with Roman and Solo and how Drew's taken out his family, etc., etc. And yeah, what happened? Someone came in, someone distracted Jey Uso, right?
Yeah, he got attacked. Did he get attacked by? He got attacked by Drew McIntyre.
He got attacked by Drew McIntyre, but I think someone distracted him or came in before that happened.
I'm trying to remember who it was.
Something happened. Yeah, something happened on screen. Solo came on screen.
Solo was on the screen. Solo
came on screen.
With, Fatu and Tama Tonga.
And Solo was talking about how he's going to remain the tribal chief and this, that, and the other. But yeah, when the vignette was done, Drew McIntyre was there, beat up Jey Uso, Claymored him, he got escorted away and all of that stuff. Later on, Jey Uso was gonna go and find Adam Pearce to get a match with Drew McIntyre. He said he's not gonna get the match on the night, but he'll get the match on the Raw debut on Netflix. And yeah, Jey Uso versus Drew McIntyre next week. Firstly, what do you think of obviously the New Day, what they did with Big E and stuff has all happened? But since then, what's your thoughts of how they're playing it since then?
I'm not liking it, if I'm being totally honest, man. I've been wanting to talk about this for a while, and I'm not like, because look, when I imagine a heel, when I imagine someone coming from being a face to a heel, I imagine them going a full way, as in like just being that heel, even coming with the leather jacket, just to add to the aesthetic in it. But I feel like these guys were coming on a jokey sort of thing where it's like they're not even like they're still the New Day. Do you get what I mean? They're still New Day, but they just be rude to people rather than be like the new, like these. This is now Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, and they're running riot and they're not taking no BS no more. Like, I even see a thing where like they gave a little kid Cole. I get called up doing entertainment. This is me trying to. I sound like a flipping on these Puro guys, but I'm just speaking my mind. So I sort of give a kid Cole. I saw them even outside saying this is the deadest country or whatever, or this is the deadest state, whatever. Cool. And even when they come to the ring now, I believe that they should even come with like, why are they even allowing the fans to even boo them out, bro? Bro, you've come far from that, man. Like, come in the ring and state your claim. Like, listen, I've got this planned for next year. I've got this planned for next year. I want to become a champion. Kofi's been a champion. Kofi's gonna help me do this. Blah blah blah. Like, I just feel like we're kind of lost at the moment, and it's just jokey at the moment. So I just wanted a bit of seriousness, from when they left Big E.
Yeah, I think they are relying on the booze and stuff a bit too long. Like, okay, 1 week, 2 weeks. I think we need to move on from it now. I can only imagine WWE are just trying to get past the Netflix debut. Then Raw is 3 hours again, so they might have a bit more time on the show to, move the story along effectively.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was some movement on this story, which we'll talk about in a bit. But yeah, the presentation, I was very surprised when the New Day's music hit and they came out. Even though Kofi was like, lock it off and all of that stuff, I thought like, we don't need this music anymore. Just come out to the chorus of boos before you guys change your music, if that's what you're going to do. But yeah, I think we just need to move the story to the next stage now.
Yeah,
absolutely. Can't keep just repeating
even from when Judgment Day's got a new theme song, it's like, and the theme song's cold, bro. Like, come on, man. That could have been for New Day. That could have been for Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston.
Do you like that theme song?
I think it's gonna grow with me. I think it's gonna be something I'm gonna end up liking. And I feel like the New Day need the new theme song because they're not the same people as well. So you see what I mean? They're changed now. So they need, once someone changes, once someone goes through the cupboard and comes back out of new clothes, they're a different person. Give them some new attire, give them a new theme song, man, or something, man. So
yeah, I think the Judgment Day new theme song could grow on me, but I was a big fan of their previous theme song.
Yeah.
The other side. I like that. So I don't know really why they changed it. And I even think the Judgment Day should be coming to an end. So
yeah, it's dying out, man. And I'm telling you now, WWE, if you dare to change Ricky Rah Ripley's theme song, I'm going to lose my shit.
No way, they won't.
I want to write a formal complaint to whatever TV board is in America, bro.
No, they won't change that one. That one's a banger. Next up on the show, we had Chad Gable versus Otis. This is like them finishing the story from these two from before WrestleMania. Yeah. When Chad kind of separated from Otis, or whenever that was earlier this year. It's like all of a sudden now it's like we're closing that chapter. Really fun match between the two. Otis showed some really good strength at parts in this match. Throughout the match, Chad Gable was trying to get the ankle lock on and eventually wore down Otis with the ankle lock, especially after Ivy now had a bit of distraction. So Chad Gable got the win. For me personally, that's it. Let's just separate these two teams, move American Made to SmackDown or something. I'm done with these guys.
Yeah. First and foremost, I was very impressed to see Otis moving the ring like that. I see him do like some sick shoulder roll. I was like, like that. But, yeah, you're right. They should move on now. Problem is, what's next? What's next for Otis and Akira Tozawa, as well as the Alpha American Made?
Yeah,
like they're pretty much the same thing. So they probably need to differentiate themselves in a way. Maybe if it's them just like changing their attire or just going down a different route in terms of personality, or even just Otis just running on by himself and becoming like an equivalent to Bronson Reed. But the problem with Otis is too happy go lucky. Maybe Otis needs a serious manager that's behind him and is just giving him an extra push to just to go and do a Mazzoline. So yeah, you probably need to differentiate himself like that. But I want the American Made to basically do what the world's greatest tag team did, try and go for the tag team belts, whereas Chad Gable will try to go for the world heavyweight title. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree.
I think I'm going for the women's title as well. Like they need to basically collect all the belts and state their claim that listen, 2025 is ours. We've cleared house. Same way that Judgment Day did it. This should be there.
Yeah, I definitely think that American Made, like Chad Gable, that interview where I spoke to Chad Gable earlier this year, he said of where he resigned and that he has faith in Triple H and Triple H's direction, and that's why he resigned. Right? I haven't seen Triple H's direction since he resigned. Yeah, I haven't seen it. Now Chad has faith in Triple H. Cool. I want to see that faith be repaid on TV. Like I said, we ain't seen it. So, yeah, I'm trying to make sure. Yeah, I just want to make sure that he's not. I don't think like he should have went to AEW. I definitely think he's in the right place, but I just want to see him used because he's a great wrestler.
The thing is this. So obviously after training yesterday, we had like a little, chat about next year and whatnot. And one of the things that the coach said was that he's got friends in the EU, and with them, like they basically in their first year, they lost hella matches, won probably one title, done nothing for the rest of the year. The next year, they didn't even have that much wrestling, and they just in and out promos. Then the next year they won the titles, the main titles. So it's like with wrestling, it's bare weird. Like 1 minute you're nothing, you're on the catering. The next minute, boom, you're up in the air. And I feel like I can see that coming with what coming up for Chad Gable. I don't know about the rest of the other guys. I forgot their name.
Julius and
Julius Creed, the Creed brothers, sorry,
Creed
and
brothers,
well. But with Chad Gable, I can see Chad Gable being in that top 7 in the company for sure.
I mean, definitely like top 7 or so on SmackDown or on Raw if they move him to one of these. Like he's there, and he wouldn't have signed a contract without some assurances. Not saying the contract says I have to become world champion, but he's got the comedy, he's got the wrestling, he's got the promo. Like he's very good. So yeah, I think we will see something from him in 2025.
For sure.
I'm sure of that. Backstage, we had a promo segment with Judgment Day. When the camera was just panning around these lot, I just felt you lot are so cooked. And Liv wasn't even there with the title. Like I thought, you lot are tired, you're done. Yeah. They were asking for Liv. Liv is preparing for Rhea Ripley next week. Finn was very sarcastic in his message, saying that Raquel, tell Liv I wish her all the best and all of this kind of stuff. You listen to Finn and you win and all of this crap. Yeah, man. I think Judgment Day's done, right? Yeah. But I think what may happen, especially because they've now changed the music, we may see Dom Mysterio like kick out Finn Balor from Judgment Day, and like maybe Dom and Liv run this new iteration of the Judgment Day. Because Finn, the issue is now with Finn. Finn's got an issue, and Liv will probably lose next week. Yeah. Like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe Finn even costs her somehow.
Yeah.
I don't know, but yeah, I just feel like if the Judgment Day aren't finished, then somehow Finn Balor is going to get himself out of there.
Yeah. Do you think it's time for the whole thing just to like flat out move out? Like,
yeah, it's done.
Dominic Mysterio does his own single run. Liv Morgan, I don't know. Liv Morgan does her own single run and starts to blame, I don't know, what's her name? Gonzalez, what's her name? How can I forget her name?
Raquel
Gonzalez, Rodriguez, sorry. Raquel Rodriguez for her losing the title, and have like a Shawn Michaels and Big Daddy D's also a few there. But yeah, I think it's time, man. I think it's time for them because Damien Priest is not really chatting to him, man, no more. Like he was like one of the main people. Ripley's probably still dabbling in the whole Judgment Day stuff, but they need to, they need to disperse, man.
They need to find their own ways and be out of here. Yeah, they've run their race and they've done well. The Judgment Day have literally done very well. Like they've been on like every Raw, the center of every Raw for like the past 2 years. Yeah. Like, but it just needs to come to an end now. Dom Mysterio, he seems to be a lot of people's early picks for Money in the Bank winner next year, which could be good. I think Dom Mysterio could be very fun if he's booked similarly to like how Rollins was booked in 2015. If you have Dom Mysterio with the briefcase and he has his own little J&J security, some other 2 cronies that he can just get to follow him around and stuff like that. I think he could be good, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's a queue almost to become world champion right now that Dom Mysterio, I don't know if he can necessarily jump the queue right now with that briefcase.
But it'll be nice to see like a smash and grab, like a carry and go situation where Dominic has the title there and one SummerSlam, he comes in sneakily, wins the belt like Seth Rollins did and just runs for cover. And he's just there flaunting the belt. Have it for like maybe a couple months or half a year, then move on. I don't think I have for that long, but yeah, just a couple months. Just to show that he's got it and stuff.
Yeah. I think you could run it. You could definitely run it, but for him to get the heat as well, you need to have he'd have to cash in on a CM Punk. He would have to cash in on a Cody Rhodes.
Cody Rhodes,
like he has to cash in on someone. The crowd is gonna lose it. Like,
yeah.
So Because otherwise, if he cashes in on someone, you know, the crowd like Dom. Like he's not like nuclear heat or anything like that. So you don't want him to do something sneaky and then everyone cheers him. But yeah, I think that could definitely be in Dom's future. We had R-Truth and Pete Dunne, who were getting ready to have a match, and Pete Dunne just jumped R-Truth, jumped him on the entranceway. Like, this was funny and this was good, but I'm done with these two. Like, Pete Dunne should be doing better stuff. Like, I don't need this person.
I'm not Butch, but it's funny, innit? But I think going forward, Pete Dunne probably needs to be in that whole like. They need to. That intercontinental picture needs to be a bit more wider, as in more people need to be in that picture. Chad Gable needs to return there. Pete Dunne probably needs to be in there. Who else is on the roster? Bronson Reed, maybe. There's bare people in there that need to be in that thing because obviously, like you said, the top title, the world's undisputed title is twofold. There's a long line of that. So why don't we flesh out the whole intercontinental title and add more people in there? Even Dominic Mysterio, like you said, Rey Mysterio could probably go out there, and Pentagon Jr. is coming there as well. He's probably thinking to himself, I want to get a title here. I want to make history here. There's bare people that, you know, will probably need to, you know, given that sort of space. And maybe they do a tournament mid-year.
I think Pete Dunne could be a really good challenger for a Bron Breakker right now. Even if he's going to lose the feud, like, let's do something with the two of them. Like, Pete Dunne should be even someone. I know he's probably past it, but they could have looked at to be an NXT champion. Whilst the likes of Tyler Bate is out injured. So
Ilya's injured, isn't it?
Ilya's injured. Bronson Reed is injured. There's a lot of man, but they're not here. And even when they bring Ilya back, they need to really bring him back. They need to bring him back better than how they brought him up to main roster anyway, because it was a bit flat the way they brought him up. They didn't really make a big deal of him, like, so they need to do that.
I'm bringing him back and putting him in a mad feud of Gunther, bro, because Gunther needs to start shaking the room again. Like, he's been a bit quiet. Like, we need the room to be shaken again, bro. When Gunther was Intercontinental champion, he was proper like on it, but now it's like that whole. I feel not. Maybe it's just me talking. I feel like that Damian Priest sort of feud and the lead up to the triple threat match. Damian Priest kind of like made him look like a pussy a bit.
He did.
And I didn't like that for Gunther, man. I didn't like that for Gunther. So maybe Gunther now comes in this match and we're just basically repeating that full NXT match.
Yeah,
that full NXT match in the UK.
Yeah, I think definitely something. And I don't know if he's got the time, like we said at the top of this podcast. I don't know if Gunther's walking into WrestleMania as the champion. I can't see that in his future. So, I think the match he had at Saturday Night Main Event against Priest and Balor, I think, was probably one of the best matches of his run as champion. Like, that was literally, they're probably standing in gorilla position. Triple H said, "You man got 10 minutes." And it was just pure urgency. You know, the thing you always say that you love when, like, Gunther's just like, no more nonsense, picks man up, power bombs them, this, that, and the other. Like, that's what that match was. Like, just a whole load of flash bang. Like, I'm just gonna get my thing off and done. Like, so I feel like that's what he needs more of, more fights, as opposed to, like, these matches and stuff. And that could work for him. But I think the clock may be running down on his world heavyweight title run. I think we'll have to see how much longer is left of that. Following the R-Truth and Pete Dunne segment bit, we had Dakota Kai backstage having an interview with Io Sky, and they're talking about the women's intercontinental title tournament. Dakota Kai was in one semi-final against Zoe Stark. Io Sky was going to have her match later on in the night against Lyra Valkyria. Dakota Kai was talking about an all Damage Control final, but most importantly, that the belt comes home to someone in Damage Control. And then we went into the match, Dakota Kai versus Zoe Stark. This match I felt was very good. This might be one of Dakota Kai's best matches she's had in the WWE, like NXT included. I feel like it just seems like the hunger of being able to realistically win a title is showing in her, even in the initial triple threat match to qualify for this match. Like, there just seems to be something, and I'm not the biggest Dakota Kai fan or anything. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with her. It's just I'm just waiting to see more, sort of thing. I've always been waiting to see more, but then she's always injured. I'm actually more of a fan of Zoe Stark than I am of Dakota Kai. But yeah, I thought this match was really good. We saw Dakota Kai put away Zoe Stark and reach the final. What did you think of this match?
I thought the match was sick. There was obviously a few parts where I was watching the wrestling eye, and I thought that was a bit clunky, but other than that, it was a sick match. Zoe Stark needs more. I think going into the new year, I feel like she probably needs to be second on a short list to get this title again. I feel like Zoe Stark is sick in the ring. I've always loved that NXT, even though she's down back with what was the PFC? This new, was it Pure Fusion Collective?
I was literally about to ask you this. I don't even know. Is it
Chicken and Chips? Chicken and Chips
PFC? Yeah.
PFC Chicken and Chips. Even though she's now part of PFC, which I'm not really proper there with, I feel like she's one of the best women's in WWE at the moment. So yeah, it was a good match. Dakota Kai looked great, obviously minus the clunky part I was talking about. And yeah, it was nice. But the second match is what broke my heart a bit. But I think we'll get there.
We'll get there. Yeah. This match was really good. I was impressed. Zoe Stark, I think, is good. I think PFC is holding her back as an act. And yeah, she needs to be doing more single stuff, especially now that we got women's mid-card titles. I still don't know why Shayna Baszler is not NXT Shayna Baszler anymore. But that's an argument for another day.
Is she cruising like Bailey? Do you think she's a cruiser because Bailey's just Bailey's just floating in it? Do you feel like Shayna Baszler is also floating in that sort of
I think
they can't make her too strong.
But why not? I think with Shayna Baszler, and I hate to kind of say it, and I might just be very, very wrong. Maybe she's just on the wrong side age-wise. So I think Shayna Baszler is over 40, which I don't know how many women you really see. I mean, women wrestle into that age and stuff if they wish and stuff, but I think with Shayna Baszler, maybe as a main roster product, we can't necessarily market her. What do we market her as and stuff like that? And maybe it's just as simple as at this point, she's just taken far too many losses to be believable or anything like that. I got excited because I remember at Clash at the Castle 2022, I think it was. I think that was one of Triple H's first shows when he took over. The women's title match was Liv Morgan versus Shayna Baszler.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I didn't necessarily think that Shayna Baszler was going to win right there and then on that night, but I thought he's come in and he's put Shayna Baszler right into the main event for the women sort of thing. So yeah, I thought there's some promise here, but no, I don't know. I really don't know. But Zoe Stark for sure, there's something there.
But you can always tell when that person in that year is going to have a great year from that Royal Rumble win. If not from the Royal Rumble, you see what happened with Gunter. Gunter was runner up, then he went on to go win the heavyweight title. CM Punk as well, not CM Punk, but CM Punk. What? No, wait. I'm saying that people that always runners up, the last three, are always the one to win in the Royal Rumble. So I'm thinking if this year we see Shayna Baszler as one of the final three, then maybe she might have a good year.
Maybe we'll see. I think there's just so many good talents that they can push now that it may just be past it for Shayna Baszler, and she's just happy to play the bit part role that she has. It's a job after all. So yeah, we'll see what happens there. After this match, I think this is a bit of you. Did you see this highlight package that they done of the history of Monday Night Raw?
Mate. This is stuff I love, man. Them throwing back the years and showing us stuff with Stone Cold pulling out the beer machine, seeing the DX, stuff like that. I love, man. It's proper good. I think they captured it well. Man. WWE are very good at doing that sort of stuff. So I was happy. It kind of made me feel a bit sad as well. Even though we didn't watch WWE on the USA Network, we watched it on TNT. Remember the days of Sky Sports, Sky One. We can go as far back as Channel 4. Like those moments were those some of the stuff I saw in there was moments which were captured on the thing. So yeah, man.
It's childhood. Like you see stuff that you remember as you're watching as you were a child. And one thing I liked is that they weren't scared to show people that are no longer in the company. They showed Edge and Christian. They showed Daniel Bryan and all of these people. Whereas
but
if
there
this
was one person that didn't show though.
Who?
VKM.
Okay, yeah. I mean,
obviously, they're not going to show him. I'm just saying. I'm just pulling you low with it.
But he's an easy person to omit because I know he played a very large part in Monday Night Raw, especially in the Attitude Era. But like, he's easy to omit because he's not a wrestler.
He's not a wrestler. Yeah.
So like you didn't necessarily need to include anything he was involved in. But if it was him at the helm and this video package came out, all of these men that work for AEW would have never featured in the package.
Yeah, facts.
Like, so it's
growth. Look at Shoko featured.
Yeah.
Oh, sick, man. Yeah.
It's growth. It's good stuff. Like, let's move on to the next match that we got was Judgment Day versus Damian Priest and War Raiders. This was a 6-man tag, bog standard 6-man tag here. Big pop for Damian Priest when he got tagged into the match. Damian Priest, he got the win. I think it was a Razor's Edge that he done, and then a South of Heaven to Dominic Mysterio, pinning Dominic Mysterio. They tried to come in and rush Damian Priest afterwards. War Raiders made the save. Yeah, this Damian Priest, I don't know Damian Priest's current direction. I don't know Finn Balor's current direction. Like we said earlier, I think Judgment Day need to end. Damian Priest is an interesting case because they've got him to a certain level now at this point, which is good. But again, he's not going to win the world title again between now and Mania. I can't see. I mean, we were talking about people that Dominic Mysterio could, get some heat off the back of. If Priest became a world champion again and Mysterio cashed in on him, there's story there for that as well. But to be honest, I can't really see him becoming a world champion in the immediate future. So I don't know what his current direction is, unless he maybe gets a celebrity type match for WrestleMania or something.
Yeah, and delivers it well. Maybe Bad Bunny comes back for a bit. I know Bad Bunny's finished filming with that film that Adam Sandler done for Happy Gilmore. So maybe he's gonna have more time now. So maybe he comes back for Royal Rumble. I don't know. And him and Priest, I don't know, do something together again. Or maybe there's more other musicians that he can probably work with. So
yeah, we'll see. But I don't think there's nothing obvious right now for Damian Priest's future. Backstage, we had a couple of segments here. Before we got backstage, Ludwig Kaiser, he came to the ring, demanded everyone's gratitude, telling us about European elegance and how he wants Bron Breakker right now. Sheamus, music hit. We haven't seen Sheamus since Survivor Series, I think it was, when they had their triple threat match, which was great. Sheamus just came in, beat down Kaiser. That was that segment. So I guess we'll see what happens there. And then backstage, we had Rey Mysterio telling the Alpha Academy, keep your chin up and everything. Don't worry about losing. You get another opportunity. New Day came in on the segment, and New Day were like, "Oh, look at you, locker room leader," giving out advice and all of that. Obviously, pertaining back to the conversations they've recently been having with Rey Mysterio and how Rey Mysterio is not helping them in the locker room. Rey Mysterio saying that he's not interested in any of these the stuff that these guys are doing, and if they want to have a fight, we'll settle it in the ring. The New Day make a joke at, who are you gonna pick to be your tag team partner? Is it gonna be this guy here with a hat, or this guy cosplaying you, or this guy here with no mask, or Zelina Vega, this 12-inch boot wearing child? Kofi was on fire there, and Rey Mysterio said he's gonna pick someone, one of them, and they'll have their match in the ring. Now,
I know. Oh, yeah, let's get to that.
Let's get to it, because
Is there an
just
issue with that?
before what?
Wait, what are you going to say first? Say what you want to say
Okay,
first. Nice.
so what I'm going to say is, it's when this segment ran about 2-3 weeks ago, when they first asked Rey Mysterio to bless the locker room for them, and you could see it was literally 2 against 1. I thought, right, we have a luchador that's coming in soon. His name is Penta Jr., Pentagon Jr. This guy's going to come in and he's going to tag with Rey Mysterio. I said it on one of my videos, and I don't want it to happen, but I can't help but thinking, yeah, they might do that. Now, when the New Day were running through the people that he could possibly tag with, I thought, are they teasing this again? That Rey Mysterio may not choose any one of these guys, and he may choose Pentagon Jr. Is this the way to bring Pentagon into the company? What do you think about this as a possible idea?
Yes and no. One being that Rey Mysterio is a well-known face, and putting him next to Rey Mysterio. Okay, guys, don't shoot me. Don't shoot me, but understand where I'm coming from in terms of someone that has not seen Penta before. Deep it. This is going to be on Netflix. A lot of these old wrestling fans are going to start watching WWE again. They don't know who Penta is. So put him next to Penta kind of rises up his stock a bit.
Putting him next to Rey Mysterio.
Sorry, put Penta against Rey Mysterio, rises up his stock in WWE a bit. Cool. But as the fan that I am now, as a wrestling fan that I am, I'd rather him come in and what Jem said, be a heel, come in and just do heel tendency, just be mad. On the main roster, I don't know if it can work on the main roster, but in NXT, I think he'll be great in NXT as a heel. But yeah, that's just me.
I think he is coming to the main roster. They are, basically running these teasing and vignettes, and the vignettes have been recently the 0 with a line through it. Yeah. This past week, I think just before this segment, it was the mask. The face, the mask. So the one thing I'm holding on to, might be clutching onto straws, is literally the mask was black. And he's done the black mask before without being a heel, but famously his Penta Dark character wears black.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go on.
Do you remember All In, where he turned to Penta Black? Was it Penta? What's it?
Penta Dark. Penta Oscuro. Yeah.
What was that? What was that? Do you remember I was watching it? And then he killed himself.
Yeah.
The ladder broke. That was a mess, bro. But yeah.
Mid-match, man changed gimmick.
You went to go change the clothes and come. Nah, bro. But yeah, go on.
Yeah, Penta Oscuro is the heel version. Penta Black, Penta Dark. Sorry, that is the heel version. So, I don't want him involved with Rey Mysterio or LWO stuff at all. I think he needs to come in as a heel and establish himself as a heel. And I can't deny that him maybe joining Rey Mysterio to go against New Day and turning on Rey Mysterio immediately will make him that heel, because Rey Mysterio is a beloved babyface and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But like, I want him higher on the card. Doesn't have to. I'm not saying this to win a title, but I just want him to feel more important than Latino mid card stuff, which is what these men have been doing for the last year, 2 years. I don't want everyone that's Latin American to sign and be caught up in this Rey Mysterio vortex. Same thing they call Chris Jericho vortex. This is Rey Mysterio Latin America vortex, bro. I don't want everyone to be caught up here. So if he kills Rey Mysterio, because Rey Mysterio is this beloved guy, and that kind of helps establish his heel character, cool. But then have the feud of Rey Mysterio, finish it, and let's move on. You already mentioned earlier on the podcast, he'll be a great contender in the Intercontinental title picture. And I think we do need to give him a title, like I say, not immediately, but we need to give him a title before Rey Fenix shows up.
Comes up, in
a year or so. I think he needs to be established as a guy, a real guy, and it's like, oh my god, now Rey Fenix is here. There's another one. They're brothers, in fact. Like these two, although they've often been brothers and Lucha Bros and stuff, they're better apart, in my opinion. They're better singles wrestlers than they are as a tag team, sort of thing. So yeah, I just want to see them. I want to see Penta do his best work as a heel.
Ray Phoenix in WWE is gonna be crazy though. I'm just thinking about it now. Like, obviously, I was introduced to Ray Phoenix in AEW, but see what he done in AEW to now come and see what he's going to do in WWE. It's gonna be absolutely crazy. And I'm even thinking of the likes of, like, I know you don't want to mix Penta and Ray Phoenix with the whole, Mexican vortex, but we've forgotten people like the Santos Escobar there, Andrade there. There's bare people there that they can, go on and do stuff with him. I don't know.
No, don't get me wrong. Like, obviously, mix the culture, mix the brotherhood if you want to mix it. Mix it. But at the same time, remember, they're not the only wrestlers that are on the card. Like, there was a time, it was literally Legado del Fantasma versus LWO in several different iterations for months on end. Like, don't do that. Like, if you want to give us like a quote unquote dream match, Penta versus Andrade, cool. Give us the match and done. Like, but there is more to the roster than just Latin America. Let's spread it around, sort of thing. So yeah, I think we need to almost, like, Ray Phoenix is clearly, right now, I can say this quite confidently, he's clearly not going to be used for the next year.
That's sad.
So it's mad. But at the same time, that's why I think now it's Penta's job to create interest for his younger brother when it's time for his brother to come in. It's like, you lot are going to love me so much. By the time my brother lands, you're going to think, oh, there's another one of you, sort of thing. Like, that's Penta's job right now. So I hope they book him accordingly and make that demand for Ray Phoenix actually mean something. Because otherwise, if Penta don't work and Ray Phoenix comes in, they just slap them as a tag team and done. And that's it. Like, it'll still be fun, but it won't be, the top stuff of what we can get from these two. So
quick question. I know this is not really Raw related, but a question I want to ask you is that with Motor City Machine Gun, they've won the titles. They're now on the top. What is next to them? Like, as a wrestling fan, what is next to them?
So I never believed Motor City Machine Gun were ever brought in to be top stars because, respectfully, I don't believe they are like stars. I think they're a great tag team. I don't think they are star quality, if that makes sense. Their music is never going to hit and the whole world loses their mind. If they're not the Young Bucks. They're just, as much respectfully as I can put it, I think they were literally brought in at this tail end of their careers to, listen, our tag division is in some dire needs right now. We need you to come in as baby faces, have some great matches, get some guys over, etc., etc. I literally think that's what they were brought in to do, and that's what they're doing, because DIY are more over than they've ever been on the roster. In the back, they are clearly working on Street Profits to get Street Profits to be that big babyface team. They've struggled to turn the Street Profits. They want to turn the Street Profits, but the crowd won't let them do it.
It never works. Even the Bobby Lashley was in the chat, never worked.
The crowd won't let them do it. They're too beloved. So they have to at least give them some edge and get them to a big babyface place, which they will find out that DIY books them for the tag team title opportunity and get the win back. So I think they were brought in more so as a tool to help bring life to the rest of the division, as opposed to be the big stars of the division, if that makes sense. But
what Jem said basically,
Machine Gun brought in to boost the tag division. Then I feel they'll be at the PC, and working, 100% coaching and stuff like that. Alex Shelley was already in NXT some years back. He was teaming with what's his face? What's the guy that does the time traveler gimmick?
What's his name again?
Kushida.
Kushida.
He was teaming with Kushida for a little bit in NXT, and doing some coaching stuff. So that's I think the role that they're going to play going forward. Back on Raw, and I guess this was the last big thing. We've talked about the main event angle with Rollins and CM Punk. So this was the last match. This is the last well, currently, unless the Netflix stuff goes tits up, this is going to be like the last televised, like traditional televised match of Raw on TV. Lyra Valkyria versus Io Sky in the other semi-final for the women's intercontinental title tournament. This match was great. Some really, really good action between the two. Before, like towards the end of the match, we saw Io Sky gave her like a super hurricane runner. We saw Valkyria out on the floor. Sky had done a moonsault, but she was like holding her knee was banged up, and then Valkyria kind of rolled her up with a bridge pin and got the win. Crowd quite shocked here, it seemed, that Valkyria got the win. I thought that this would be the case because they were really selling, which I'm glad that they're doing now, like how great Io Sky is. On commentary, they were saying Valkyria is the underdog. Io Sky is great. She is the one to beat, and all of this kind of stuff. Like we've quietly moved in the last couple months Io Sky from just being like some tag team member of Damage Control to like a big deal in the women's division.
Yeah. The elite wrestler.
And I think you were alluding to earlier, you thought Io Sky was going to win here, right?
Yeah, I thought Io Sky was going to win. I thought it was getting into the match. Because I was watching it like fresh off, obviously I woke up and I saw that the CM Punk things. I was like, let me watch the whole thing. Luckily, I watched the whole thing in one sitting. And I was like, oh, maybe Io Sky's going to win this and we'll get the Damage Control final. And as the match was going on, I'm just seeing Lyra Valkyria getting more offense in, and before you know it, bam, she won the match. And it's really and truly, if I'm being honest, I think she deserves it. Her run in the King of the Ring tournament was amazing. She's had such a great year. From her coming from where she came from in NXT UK, with her just doing this random bird stuff, to now going to NXT and getting the Becky rub, and now she's fully like she's in the main. I can now say that by next year she'll be in WrestleMania, a main event at WrestleMania. If she keeps playing the way she's getting, not main event WrestleMania, but for the women's that are big up in the card at WrestleMania. So yeah, she's great, man. She's doing well. She's done well for herself. But it did shock me a lot. It did shock me.
You said that she will be like on the upper echelons for the women's card, I guess, come WrestleMania next year or so. I think the one thing that's holding her from getting to that height is the character.
Yeah, that's
like,
it.
No one knows what or who she is.
Yeah.
Like, there's people like Tiffany Stratton, who's great in ring as well, but she's just afforded a lot more in terms of showing her character and promos and stuff like that. I think right now, and they even like cut off, I think, some of Lyra Valkyria's entrance as she was making her entrance. She's just coming out and people are just kind of quiet, not even reacting to her music or anything like that. Of course, there's the woos and stuff that people do during her song, but it's like when her actual music hits, there's no like, way, like she's here sort of thing. Like, but when she's wrestling, people care. So that bit is sorted, but the character needs work.
I think she probably needs to leave the bird thing alone and just probably go down the thing where it's like, I'm Lyra Valkyria. Maybe if it's a thing where it's like a Finn, I don't know, she's not aggressive, but adopting that Finley type role where it's like, my name is Finley and I love to fight. I love to give a good wrestle. Like, I'm Lyra Valkyria. They call me the underdog. They used to call me the underdog, but now I'm like, I've climbed up the ranks. Do you know what I mean? And she just fully goes in that sort of like thing where it's like, trying to be the MVP, if that makes sense.
I think
player.
Yeah, I think they're relying too much on the literal bird stuff, and like that the bird gimmick should be literally go as far as all I want to do is hit the heights of WWE. Use that word heights to relate it to your bird gimmick, and that is it. Like change the Titron, like even give her one of those generic Lyra Valkyria Titrons. Remove all the bird stuff and the mountain tops, and like I just want to reach the height of WWE, if that's going to be her catchphrase. Like, because the reliance on this, and it's not connected. It's never connected. Even in NXT, where she's done some of her best work, it's never connected. So, yeah, to give her a fighting chance, and I guess we'll talk about it now. Who do you think is going to win this women's Intercontinental title, Dakota Kai or Lyra Valkyria?
I know that the Dakota Kai stands are standing in the millions and millions. I'm joking, but yeah, the Dakota Kai fan stands are proper on it. Like they want her to win every single time under the sun. But if WWE really want to take things to another level and put the flag down in UK or put the flag down in women's wrestling, that anyone can do this or people can achieve this, there's a story there. Lyra Valkyria, give it to Lyra Valkyria. I would want to give it to her rather than Dakota Kai because I'm really and truly. I'm not really invested in Dakota Kai as much. But I think Lyra Valkyria will give a good run with it.
Likewise, I for that reason, and like I said, during Dakota Kai's match, she seemed like she had. I literally saw as if it was like a Nollywood film, like fire in her belly.
Yeah.
Like I literally saw like hunger from this woman the way she was wrestling. And especially since they announced they were having this title and stuff like that, it just seems since she's come back from injury and stuff like that. And remember, she was another one of these people that was let go by Vince, and she came back. Triple H brought her back into the fray with Damage Control. I think you give it to Dakota Kai almost as a litmus test. Like, you're hungry, yeah? All right. You're the first champion here. Let's see what you can do. Almost as like prove yourself sort of thing. Let's see if you can make the championship, and not a case of let's just give you a championship and see if it makes you sort of thing. Because Lyra Valkyria's got time, and I think she's good. And I think, like I say, they've still got to fix the character first. Not saying that Dakota Kai has some brilliant character or anything like that, but yeah, I think Lyra Valkyria can probably wait. So, but either way, whoever wins it, I'm happy with, because I think it's a good thing of not Io Sky winning it. I think if Io Sky was here and she won it, okay, cool, as like a experienced person holding this title, but at the same time, it's like Io Sky can win the world title. Yeah, like, so leave this to the people that are on the way up, sort of thing.
Yeah. And with like, obviously, I know that WWE have teased this transfer market that they're doing, which I'm proper like intrigued to see how this is gonna go. Like, I'm even thinking of a point where like WWE even like show that SmackDown has 250K, Raw has 250K. This wrestler costs that much money. That wrestler costs that much money, and there's proper contracts involved. Like, obviously, kayfabe, innit? Like, and people go across, and even as they're going across with interviewing wrestlers, like, Lyra Valkyria, what brings you to SmackDown? Why are you here at SmackDown? I'm here because I want to win the women's US title. I've been watching on TV. I've been seeing what Chelsea Green's do. It needs to have that sort of feel, and that's where you can now bring in this whole thing of like, I'm trying to reach the heights. You see it. People will be cutting promos that will put a stamp in their character or put a stamp in their run in WWE as of now. Even I can even imagine Street Profits. Why are you here? We want to come for the World Tag Team titles because the titles in SmackDown suck. Can't get them because do you get what I mean? They can literally build wrestlers there. 360 moments can be created with this whole transfer market sort of stuff. So yeah.
I don't know if they've done enough. Obviously, it depends how long this transfer window is going to last, but I don't feel they've done enough to really sell it to us. Like, we've had a couple people walking in and out of general managers' offices, and that's really about it. The only person they've really said has moved is Braun Strowman moving to SmackDown.
Is the transfer window open now?
I believe so. Braun Strowman's moved, so I suppose so. Yeah.
I thought it'd be a thing where it's like they're gonna proper do it in the next week, Netflix thing.
This is what I mean. They haven't really disclosed it. They haven't really shown us much of it. It just seems like it's one of these things where we can leave it open so that we can just move people across as in how Netflix kind of please.
I don't like that, man.
Remember they used to have the inter-brand invitational where 4 times a year one person can go to another.
Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah, it feels like it's something like that.
I want them to go back to the days where it was like it was like a shock or like a taboo for you to see a wrestler that's not meant to be on Raw turn up at Raw.
Yeah.
It's like, what is Thing doing here? Oh my gosh, No, he used to go. You see it?
They've ruined that. They've ruined that because
Yeah,
when
they
you
have.
have a brand split, that's ultimately what that implies.
Yeah.
And then they, we need to get ratings over here. Let's do it over here, and they just start moving people willy nilly. So yeah, they've ruined that kind of stuff. But yeah, that brings us to the end of the Raw review. Like we said, everything's pointing towards Netflix now. Next Monday, going to be a massive show. Are you going to stay up and watch it live?
Of course, I have to. I'm even thinking to the point where I might even just have to link up with. So I don't know. This has to be watched. I might even live stream my reaction to it because it's a big deal. It's the first.
It's monumental. It really is, and even just to kind of see the presentation quirks of how they're going to present it, what's it going to look like on Netflix. I feel like there's a lot to kind of get and see from that. So yeah, no, I'm interested in seeing that as well. Cool. So yeah, that was the Raw review. Just to kind of go on.
I was gonna say, I think for a final Raw, that was a solid episode, and it was easy to watch.
Yeah.
So yeah,
and it was the last one that's 2 hours.
Yeah,
we're back to 3 hours from next week. So it's back to that quote unquote problem of booking a 3 hour Raw and a 3 hour SmackDown, which they've never done a 3 hour SmackDown, I don't believe. So it'll be very interesting. Triple H, no one is exempt of the stuff that we kind of lambast Tony Khan for in AEW. It'll be very interesting to see if Triple H can book 2 quality 3 hour shows, or maybe he hands one of the shows to someone else to book or something like that.
For Heyman.
Yeah, that's a shout.
Yeah,
because he might run out of steam trying to book these 2 shows and stuff. So yeah, bro, we'll see. But yeah, that is that. We'll be back later on this week with a AEW Dynamite podcast. Maybe there'll be some other things dropping in between, so check that out. Anafi, if the people do not know, let them know where they can find you.
You can find me on Wrestling's Weekly, which is at Wrestling's WRESTHINGS. Look at me, I nearly forgot, bro. Look,
the minute you started spelling it, I said this guy's gonna mess this up.
I'm gonna damage the spelling, bro. Right. Yeah, Wrestling's. You can also find me on my own personal Instagram page. I'm gonna try and upload more going forward in 2025, which is Anafi on Instagram and Anafi FP on Twitter. And find us on there. And also big up Mex, man. Hardest working 2nd year in a row. 5th year in a row. Bro, so big up Mex, man.
This next year, while this show is going to that channel, we've got a lot of work to do. There's going to be a lot of new fans that are going to be looking to us, the creators, to kind of explain this and piece together this in their head. And, so yeah, the hard work is only going to begin now. But I appreciate you coming through, bro. Everyone, subscribe to the channel as well. And of course, you can find this on your podcast platform of choice in the audio realm, whether it's Google, Spotify, Apple Music, all of them kind of things. I'll see you again later this week. WrestleManiac UK signing out. And I'll see you